The purpose driven woman. The purpose driven woman. Who is that purpose driven woman? The purpose driven woman. The woman who is thriving and walking in her purpose. She's driven. She's motivated. That's the purpose driven woman. Y'all, I'm sitting out here in my car. You know, you have to, when you're a content creator, you have to create content, get it in when you can fit it in. I'm sitting out in my car waiting on my husband. He's in therapy. So I didn't go in with him. I said, I'm going to sit in the car and bring some content. But I just want to talk about the purpose driven woman. If you do not know your purpose, you need to seek God for your purpose, because I am a firm believer that we all was born on purpose for a purpose. We all have some type of purpose in life. I'm not talking about your talent or your hobby, that thing that drives you, that thing that motivates you, that thing that you can do. You could do it with your eyes closed. You feel so good about yourself. That purpose in life, when you just feel so good, you just know, I'm in my place. Not saying that you won't be tried, because the devil will try you when you walking in your purpose, when you fulfilling your purpose, when you're doing what God has called you to do. He will fight you. That does not mean that that's not your purpose. That means that you have to keep fighting, keep doing it, keep showing up, keep being consistent. Well, I really don't know. I thought this was my purpose, but I like doing this. But what is it, that thing that people keep coming to you about or asking you for your knowledge and expertise? What is it that make you feel so good at night? Oh, I did this for that person. Oh, I sold into this person's life. Oh, I volunteered and did this. Oh, I taught this lesson in Sunday school. Oh, I'm a good listener. Oh, I'm a giver. What are those things that you see yourself doing, but you have to move outside of that? It's more than just me saying, I just love reading. That's my purpose. Have you reached out to schools and said, can I come some days and read to your students? Have you volunteered at the nursing home and said, let me read the Bible or something to the elderly people? You have to take that thing that you enjoy doing, that you love doing, that you're passionate about, and find out where can you use that gift. I remember I've always loved, my husband and I, we always loved traveling. I've always loved family. I was brought up in a two-family home. My parents, my father, my mother, they love people. People was always at our house, and they were so passionate about that. So I became so passionate about families, especially when I was seeing people divorced, and I was going to school with children and their parents were separated or divorced. And I used to say, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to be brought up in a home like that. And I just became passionate for marriage. I was a young bride, 19 years old, with no blueprint, no map, no nothing other than what I had seen. And I saw people stay in marriages for the sake of people, didn't want to be shamed, staying in marriage because of their children. And so I just stayed. They just made the best out of it. They was barely making in their marriage. Marriage wasn't thriving. And I just became so passionate. I was always reading up on marriage and studying on marriage. This probably was when I was around 16. I was dating my husband that I'm married to now, married 46 years, and we started dating as a junior high school student. And I was just so passionate about, and I just wanted to pour into women. I wanted to do something with travel. I had a full-time job where I worked for the federal government, worked there 30 years. And when I retired, I told God, I said, God, I don't just want to sit around and be idle. I want to walk in my purpose. Show me, what is it that you actually have designed for me? I love family. I love marriage. I love traveling. And God began to show me. When you sincere, God knows it. And He began to open up doors and show me. When I retired, I became a part-time travel agent. Which I still am. I operate my business from my home. I have a travel Facebook group, which is where I get most of my clients. Between my Facebook group and word of mouth, because I try to offer the best service that I can, give people what I would want. And my travel agent is your one-stop travel. You can get any type of travel in one stop. I started doing that, but then it was more. It was more. We were we were we were doing the traveling, I said, you know what? I really want to do something. I really want to do something with marriage. And I began to seek God for that. I began to go to a workshop where the workshop was to inspire people, helping people to find their purpose, walking their purpose. And from there, that's when God laid on my heart about coaching women, and mainly married women and those who desire to be married, those who's engaged, those who was in their season of waiting on their husband. So I did that, and I started a Facebook group called Women Majoring in Their Marriage, where that group grown. I started out wanting to be small, but it got a little bigger and bigger. And God began to bless me in that group. Then I became a certified coach, women coach. I did that. Then I God began to deal with me about a book that really blew my mind, because that was never on my radar. I never thought about it. But when you walking in your purpose and you fulfilling your purpose, and you're doing what God has called you to do, not what you think your desire is or your hobby is, but what is it that you know that God is calling you to do. And I knew that was what God called me to do. He began dealing me by writing a book. In the midst of the pandemic, I wrote my first book, Women Majoring in Their Marriage and Mastering the Seasons of Marriage. God blessed me to publish my book. I had a desire to publish it, my book to be published on my birthday that year, and it was. And when you seek God, He'll help you. I had no clue how to what I had no clue how to write a book. I had my sister-in-law, who was like a sister to me, died during the midst of COVID. As a matter of fact, she died the 2 days before they did the shutdown. So we just say she died of COVID. They didn't know it was COVID at the time, but the symptoms was COVID. And I remember when we left the hospital after she had passed and we was in the car, God just was dealing with me about that book again. And I said, God, I don't even know what to write about. I never written a book. But God opened up a door for me. I went back to we went back to her house. I got my laptop out and I said, God, give me the title of my book. And He gave me Women Majoring in Their Marriage. And I wrote that title, and that's all I had. Sometimes all you have to do is just start. You have to start before you are ready. Start before you're ready, and God will do the rest. I began to get in a book writing lab, coaching lab that walked me through, and I give a shout out to Candace Wood. Um, I was in that book writing lab with some other like-minded women. That's another good thing. Surround yourself around people that have the same desire or doing more. I've always heard if you're the smartest person in your circle, you need to change circle. You need to be where you always push, where you always growing, around people that will challenge you. I got in that book writing, and I said what was gonna be my date, my book be published, and it was published that day. And I say all of that to say, when you sincerely seek God for your purpose, He'll show you. And if you're one of them that have already sought God for your purpose and you know what it is, you might have started doing what it was and you stopped, you wasn't consistent, whatever. Don't beat yourself down. Don't beat yourself down. It's okay. It's okay to get back up again and start over. I began to get in a mastermind class with my coach, who is still my coach to this day, Dr. Giovanna Ellison. Dr. Giovanna Ellison, a great coach. She will push you to your destiny. She will push you to your destiny. She's a beautiful lady. And I began to get around people with a mindset higher than what I was. People that was making way more money than I ever thought of. I began to get in a group like that. And God began to just open doors, open doors, open doors. He blessed my book. I had a workshop. He blessed my workshop. So don't put yourself down. Don't beat yourself down. Seek God for your purpose, women. We have so much knowledge. We have so much knowledge. Don't let distraction. We living in a society, Lord have mercy, today. There is so much noise out there, so much going on. You can go to bed and wake up, and it's so much has happened, so much going on. Don't let that stop you. You have to do it scared, do it afraid. Get around people for whatever you think you're passionate about and that you know that is your God-given purpose. And do it. Do it. Do it. I started YouTube. Before YouTube, I started a podcast over a year or something ago. God dealt with me about that. I have a podcast, Women Major in Their Marriage. And then my coach, who I just mentioned, she was challenging us to start YouTube. Just do it. And I had thought about it before I started doing the podcast. And I was like, no, that's too much work. We started talking about I'm age, or I'm 64. I was 64. I'm 65 now. I turned 65 in November. But I was like, no, I don't want to put anything else on my plate. But then, because I'm always was on YouTube, I'm always on YouTube. I have so many people that I follow, just different families on marriage, just traveling. I was just always on YouTube. I became more on YouTube when I had retired. I wasn't caring too much about TV. So I would get on YouTube and watch and follow people. And so one day I said, you know what? If I start and nobody making me stay in it, I can start and do it. I began to seek God and did what I did when I did with my podcast. Named it, got on there, recorded my first video, and God bless. If you're that young lady that are saying, oh, I'm too old, oh, I'm not tech savage, I can't do that. You have a phone, You use your phone. You email, you texting people them pictures of them grandchildren. You record. I had to learn as I go. Get in it, do it. Learn as you go. It's okay. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to learn YouTube. And I'm learning something every day from somebody. And I thank God. Shout out to Empower Living. Dr. Priscilla, she has us on this 10 challenge. It's 10 of us in this challenge. We're doing it for 30 days. And I'm so excited about it. And if you're listening, Dr. Priscilla, I want to say I appreciate you. I love a challenge. I love being pushed. And that's what we have to be, pushed out our comfort zone. And in that challenge, we encouraging each other. We're following each other. We're commenting on their videos. And I know it was God that gave her that. He might have shown it to her, but it was her. It was God that told her to offer the challenge to us, those who want to be in it. And if you're not in the challenge, the next time she offers it, I would suggest that you get in it to help grow your channel. I'm over 3,000 subscribers. I'm working hard. Yes, working hard, trying to get my watch hours. Not going to get discouraged, but I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing because I know I'm walking in my purpose. So do it. Don't let fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Don't let fear hold you back. Step out there and do it. Do it, do it, do it. You can do it. Don't let nobody tell you can't. Come up with a name. What you like doing? You like doing makeup. Y'all, young ladies, you like doing your makeup. And everybody saying, "Oh, how you do your makeup? It's so beautiful." Get your channel. You love cooking. You always trying different recipes. Get your YouTube channel. You love fashion. Get out there and show your fashion, honey. Get out there and do whatever. You love inspiring women. You love inspiring mothers. You have different books you have written. You could talk about the things that's in your book. Do those things. Don't sit down on your purpose. You're going to always feel like something is missing in life. If you don't, walk in your God-given purpose. Walk in your God-given purpose. And if you made it this far in my video, 18 minutes in on my video, and you haven't subscribe, stop shacking with me. Make a commitment. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a video. Don't just listen. And if you're a content creator, you know it makes you feel so good when a person throw you that heart. And God, if they leave a comment, you really feel so good. Leave a comment if you found anything of value in this content. But if you're listening, you gotten this far, it's something you want to hear. You know God's dealing with you about walking in your purpose. Walk in your purpose. Walk in your God-given purpose. Don't sit down. Don't sit idle. Do something. Inspire somebody. Inspire yourself. Because when you do it, you inspire your own self. So first, if you don't know, seek God and say, God, what is it? What is it that you want me to walk in my purpose? What is my purpose? What is that purpose? What is my purpose? Seek God first. He won't lead you wrong. And when he leads you to it, don't get overwhelmed and scared. I don't know where to start. Seek knowledge. Seek information. Find people that are doing it. And on YouTube, all you have to do is type it in. They'll give you some suggestions or some channels of how to do it, how to start. You can do it. You can do it, whatever it is. If it might not even be social media. It might be starting a business. You've been wanting a daycare, and you've just been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Start. Be consistent. Be consistent. Be business minded. Now you have to be business minded. You have to know how to manage business. You have to know how to have integrity. All those things. Find out what you need to do to start it. You want to start a nonprofit organization. What's holding you back? You. Stop letting yourself hold you back. And don't listen to the negative people. Because people that's not doing anything, not going nowhere, they'll tell, girl, why are you trying to do that at your age? Girl, don't you already have one job? Just do that job. Don't listen to people. Don't let people discourage you. Walk in the purpose that God has for you. The purpose-driven woman. That's that woman that is driven by her purpose. She can't sit down. She can't spend all her time doing things that don't matter. She's always researching, reading, and trying to see what is it that she can do to grow within her purpose. Stop walking around scared. Do it scared. It's okay. It's okay. You can do it. Start. Start, start, start. Start before you're ready. What do you mean before I'm ready? You know you need to do it, but you ain't really ready because you're afraid. Start. Just start doing what it is that you know that God has called you to do. It's okay. Step outside your comfort zone. Do it scared. Do it scared. After a while, that scaredness will be gone. You just do it with so much joy. And you'll feel so much better knowing that you have gotten into your purpose. You'll feel so complete. So, ladies, I'm not going to hold you. I know there's some men out there. I'm talking to you men too. There's some men that comes on the channel, although it's women majoring in their marriage. And it's not just for married women. It's a majoring. You learning marriage. So you could be that single woman. You could be that woman in her season of waiting on God to send her husband. This channel is for you. You might be a married lady, been married for years, but your marriage is just surviving and it's not thriving. This channel is for you. You might be that engaged woman, and I want to encourage you to focus not so hard on that wedding day. It's okay to plan. It's okay to plan, but to focus on being a wife. That's a lifetime commitment. That wedding day is only going to be for some minutes. It won't even last as long as this video. But the marriage is what matters. And that's what I stress and talk about on this channel. Like I said, please drop me a heart. Leave me a comment. It's free. It won't cost you anything. I just want to encourage you as women. Encourage you as women to walk in your purpose. We're talking about the purpose-driven woman. Is that purpose-driven woman? Is that you? Is that you? Yeah. You looking in the camera and you know I'm talking to you. You know that I'm talking to you, queen. Get up. Get up today. Write it down. Write it down, that thing that God has been dealing with you about. That thing that people are always coming to you about. Some people they get tired, they get bored, and I'm bored. I need to do something. You have a purpose. You have a lot to do. You just gotta dive into it. You just have to dive into your purpose and walk in your purpose. Ladies, I love you with the love of God, and as I always say, always try to leave a person better than you found them. You all go and have a great rest of your day. Be blessed.